Be blessed by the divine.
Peace and unity, peace and unity. This group is for peace and unity. This group is for peace and unity.
Be blessed by the divine. Today we will think about the topic how to get full benefits out of sky practices. One person came to our center and told, I'm doing all the physical exercise, I'm doing all the meditation, I'm doing the Kaya Kalpa, but I'm not seeing the full benefits that you people are seeing. We closely observed his practices and he is missing one of the key components that Maharishi used to emphasize, which is moderation in fight. If we go for an Ayurvedic treatment, along with the medicines, they will also ask you to follow some food restrictions. The food restrictions are very important for the body to heal itself quickly. Likewise, in order to get the full benefit out of the sky practices, moderation in 5 is very important. What are those 5? Food, work, sleep, sex, thought. And Maharishi gives a wonderful definition for what is moderation. Moderation means it should neither be disregarded nor overindulged and not improper. Let us see one by one. First comes food. The food should not be less because if the food is less means we won't get enough biomagnetism. And the food should not be more because if there is more food, the body has to spend a lot of biomagnetism to digest the food. And food should not be improper. That means we need to take the food which is used to the body. The second comes work. The work should not be less because if the work is less means there will be no physical activity and the 5 circulations would be obstructed. And the work should not be more because there will be a lot of expenses of the biomagnetism which will eventually lead to the diseases. So we should have some moderation. Even when you work for the benefit of the family, we should keep this moderation because if you are really healthy only, we can able to support the family. The third thing comes as sleep. The sleep is where the body repairs itself. So if you have less sleep, the body will not be able to repair itself. It will not be able to excrete all the waste. And if the sleep is more means, we will be in the same position for a long time. So the 5 circulations are obstructed, which will also be a problem and leads to laziness. And the sleep should not be improper, like waking all over the night and then doing your work in the morning. Okay. So some people have to do because of the work, but it needs to be avoided as much as possible. And the fourth comes sex. Like we have the natural waste like urine and motion, the sexual vital fluid is also a natural waste. The excess of the waste can be spent on the sex, but because there is some pleasure in that, overindulgence of sex will leads to lot of waste in the sexual vital fluid, which will leads to all kind of diseases. So the sex should not be less, and sex should not be more, and sex should not be improper. Our Siddhas has already given some of the ways in which this moderation can be achieved. So they have suggested like 2 weeks once is like kind of like a moderation level. And the fifth comes the thought. So the thought should not be more because more thoughts means more expenditure of the biomagnetism. And some people used to think more than what is needed. Like, what will I do if this comes and that comes, and like too much of thinking. The thinking is needed because we have to think and execute our work, but too much of thought is also not good. And also the thought should not be improper, because the improper thoughts will leads to improper action, and that will form an habit, and that will be repeating. So we will always need to have a good thought. We can have a good sankalpa always, so which will also always give a good result. And just think for what is needed, and there need not be overthinking. So we have to analyze in these five, like where we are lagging. Are we really following the moderation? Are we following the moderation in food? Are we following moderation in work? Are we following moderation in sleep? Are we following moderation in sex? Are we following moderation in thought? If we could self-analyze and correct where we are lagging, we could definitely get the full benefit out of Sky practices. Let's self-analyze and get the full benefits. Be blessed by the divine.